If you create content and you film mostly on your phone like I'm doing right now, but you want to upgrade a little bit, I want to show you guys a camera that I recently picked up that I think is an awesome option for content creation. This is the Sony ZV-E10. I have two different lenses. I have the Sigma 30mm f1.4 lens, and then I have the Tamron 11 to 20mm f2.8 lens. So I want to show you guys just around this camera first, and then I'll actually put the camera on here so you guys can see what it actually looks like with these different lenses in case you're thinking about getting them. Because I think these two lenses specifically are just great all-around lenses. You know, if you have both of them, you can pretty much get any shot, at least in my opinion. So let's get in the video. All right, so here's just a close-up of the camera so you guys can see. I do have a cage on here, so I have a small rig cage right here. That way I can mount it to tripods. One thing about this camera is that there's no mount on the side. So if you are looking to make vertical content, you will have to get a cage like this. There is a mount right here on the bottom, which this cage is connected to. That allows you to mount it to a tripod, you know, horizontally. But if you do want to film vertical, you will have to get a cage right here like I have, so that way you can mount it vertical. But over here on the other side, this is a mirrorless camera, so you do have to have a lens for it to work. So you have to get, you know, that's where these lenses come in. But over here on the back, what's really nice about this screen as well is it does have a flip out screen. And this is what makes it really great for content. So if you are filming vertical, you know, horizontal content, you can flip this around. And then essentially, let me put this back a little bit. And then essentially you can see yourself, you know, while you're filming, which is super nice. Which is why I honestly got this camera, because I wanted to be able to see myself while making content. It was kind of frustrating just filming on my phone where you couldn't actually see yourself, you know, using the good camera. And this one you can actually see yourself, and you're getting better quality, you know, than an iPhone because it's a bigger sensor, as you can see right here. To put on the lens, it's pretty simple. You just want to unscrew this cap right here, and then you'll see a white dot right here, and then you open up your lens as well. This is the Sigma 30mm f1.4, and then there's also a dot right here. So you just line those up like this, line them up, boom, and then you just twist it on, and now you have your camera right here. I'll turn it on right here, and then I'll actually show you guys what it looks like with me in front of the camera so you guys can see. Now this lens right here, it's a f1.4, and so it's got a really nice aperture, which allows you to get that blurry background, which you guys will see in a second here. But let me flip this around. Because it's 30mm, it is pretty zoomed in. So as you guys can see, you know, here's the camera right here. I'll put the lens in front, and it's got really good autofocus. That's one thing that's really nice about this camera as well, is it does have really nice autofocus. But let me turn the camera on so you guys can see kind of a headshot from the camera itself. All right, so here's what the camera actually looks like with the 30mm f1.4 lens. As you can see, you got a pretty nice blurry background. You know, the closer I go, the blurrier the background gets. I normally use this lens in vertical content, so right now I'm shooting in horizontal, so I feel like it's a lot more zoomed in. And in general, this is more zoomed in, but as you can see, I mean, I feel like it looks a lot better than a normal camera, and I really like how the background is just a lot more blurred. And if you use, you know, if you are doing, what I really like to use this lens for is just for close-up on products, stuff like that, because if you go like this, as you can see, you know, when you put it close to the camera, everything else is very blurred out, and I feel like it just makes it look really nice. You know, even like this, as you can see, everything's just a lot more like zoomed out or blurred out in the background. I feel like it just gives a really good look. And yeah, I feel like it's a solid camera. You know, I kind of have a lot of light right here shining, but as you can see, you know, it just looks really good. So I think it's a great lens combo for the Sony ZV-10. Now I'll show you guys what the 10 or the 11 to 20mm looks like. All right, so here's what the 11 to 20mm looks like now. This is 20mm, so this is actually the most zoomed in on this lens that it has. And as you can see, it's a lot wider now. Now you can see like my whole face, but it still does work really great for, you know, if you are doing like product stuff, like you're holding this up to it. As you can see, it still zooms in, and it still makes it really clear, and it makes the background blurred a lot. So it's really nice. And then what's really nice about this is you can actually zoom it. So you can, you know, change up, you know, how far you want it to be or how wide you want it to be. And this is 20mm. And now, as you can see, it's really wide. So it's really good for, you know, nice wide shots. If you want to, you know, show kind of the whole room or just a bigger space, you know, this is going to allow you to do that. And it stays at the f2.8. And so, you know, it's gonna still have that same kind of blurry background in the wide view as it does in the short view. So pretty awesome lens. I'll show you guys what it looks like too with this. Same thing, you know, it kind of blurs the background a little bit. You know, you can point the light over here a little more and you can see it. And yeah, overall, just really good, solid combo in my opinion. I think the combo with a, you know, an adjustable one like this that can go for more wide angle, and then also the 30mm that can be a lot more closer and it has a lower, you know, f-stop, f1.4. I think it's a really good combo to have. And I just think this camera is really good. I think it is definitely an upgrade from my phone, and it makes it really nice if you are filming stuff with your phone. Now you can have your phone and an extra camera to film, and in my opinion, it works great, especially with these two lens combos. And so if you are someone that does create content with your phone, you want to level up your game for content creation and stuff like that, have better footage, in my opinion, the Sony ZV-E10 is an awesome option, and there's a lot of different lenses you can get as well, and it's just a solid option in my opinion.